everyone. Welcome to a Thursday morning card making with Alisa. I am oh my gosh, I can't even speak this morning already. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia, and welcome to some more crafting. My mojo has decided to leave the building, so I'm thinking that either today's color combination is going to set me deeper down that loss of mojo and the card is going to be ruined, or it's going to bring me back from the brink. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So welcome if you are joining me. It is Thursday the 12th of December. My 12 days of Christmas ended at 10 days of Christmas. Probably, I don't know why, probably because my mojo did decide to leave and just, you know, stuff going on. So I apologize that I didn't get to the full 12 days of Christmas, but we are making a Christmas card today, so we can include that if we want. So hello to everyone coming in. Whoops. Okay, so the color combination that I am going to be using is a little bit different, okay? And I'm going to show you where this came from before we start, because there is actually another color in here, but I've pulled it out because it was just too much. And I did try, I did have a little play yesterday morning, and hey Candace, so, and at the end of today's card, hopefully it goes well, I will show you some of the boo-boos that happened and some of the you know, the things that I tried and didn't work and that type of thing, so that you've got a little bit of an idea of what has gone through my head in the process. Okay, so just bear with me while I figure this program out. So I have got, oops, got to press it twice. Okay, so the lady who I do my colouring classes through, vanillaarts.com, she actually puts out a Copic palette every week, I think it is. And this was the one that she popped out this week. So I thought, well, I'm not going to use it for colouring. I'm going to use it for a whole colour combination. So I picked Fresh Freesia, Azure Afternoon, Blueberry Bushel, and then, you know, black. And then I thought Peach Pie would be a good one as well. So while I was contemplating this, I sort of thought about Boho Blue and what's the one that goes with that? Misty Moonlight. But I sort of, when I started pulling colours out, I sort of thought, well, perhaps the Azure Afternoon and Blueberry Bushel might be a better thing for it. So I started playing around with them. Like I said, I'll show you at the end of the video, at the end of our live, and we'll see what that looks like, because I did actually use some black in there, but I've pulled it out. Okay, Donna gets it. She's done with Christmas craft. Oh, I know. I just, you know, and I've done one Christmas present. That's all I've got so far, and it's just like, I have no idea, and I'm running out of time, and it's just the pressure. So anyway, let's get this other camera around and let's have a look. So we are going to be playing with the Frosted Forest. So now you understand why I'm using Frosted Forest. Whoops, and I'm glitchy. So now you understand why I'm using Frosted Forest with this very unusual color combination, because they were pulled from that very moody looking graphic of a nighttime scene with all the trees and the street lamp lighting things up and all that type of thing. So that's why I have used that one. And the color combinations again, just so that you can see them a little bit better. And I did pull the black out. I may add a little bit more black, because when you actually go to Amy's website, like I said, she does it for Copics. So she gives you the color combination. So you would probably use the 3 Copics. In our case, we would use these 3 colors, and I should actually have a play with it and see what that blend is like with Blueberry Bushel into Azure Afternoon and Fresh Freesia. So that might actually be a really nice alcohol marker blend as well. And then the black was for pushing things away, making things like further into the distance. And then the peach pie, I'm saying peach pie, is to bring things into the light. So, but I've got some ideas. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling, and I'm going to bring out, and I'm actually going to stamp tone on tone to start with. Oh, please wish me luck that this works. Cross fingers. Okay. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do like the whole row across, but whoopsie, I've got a little bit of wet on there. So I'm going to start my 2 in the middle-ish area, and then I'm actually going to overstamp them so that the trees are going to be overlapping each other a little bit. Okay, please cross all your fingers for me. All right, we'll adjust the heights a little bit, so some of them look like they might be a little bit more in the foreground and all that type of thing. So we only need so we'll have 2 full ones, and we'll pop that one back on the side there. So we've got our little nightscape thing going on. All right, I'm going to need you. I'm going to put you well away. Oh, I forgot to, my cloths need, oops, got the wobbles going on. My cloth needs re-wetting. It's getting a bit dry. And when they get a little bit dry, they get a little bit stinky. So I should actually get myself a new one. Okay, so the first stencil is A. Yeah, and I've got the right one. You can see I was naughty and I didn't clean up my mess when I played with them yesterday. So the first colour I am actually going to blend with is the Fresh Freesia. And yes, I am doing it on Azure Afternoon. So I again will start with these middle ones, and these ones will line up. So bear with me. I should have perhaps done a few of them ahead of time, but then you would have seen the results ahead of time as well, when I sort of wanted to do it together. And it's surprising that it does actually show up. So when I reveal this, you will see that the light purple does actually look pretty good on the blue. There we go. I'll bring that up to the screen. Good morning, Ronnie. So I know my lighting in my room isn't the best, but so it does give you a nice little purple. And don't forget that when your ink dries, it gives you another little look as well. I'm going to try and grab from around the edges, because as you can see, I'm wearing, I don't know whether you can see, I am wearing an ink patch out in the middle of my ink pad there. So I'm going to try and grab my ink from around the edges to not dry it out so much. All right. And it doesn't matter if it's like patchy, because it's all adds a little bit of difference. All right, there's that. And I didn't line it up properly, but whatever. Oops, now this one's going to be interesting. Where am I lining this one up? There, I think it's lined up. So I'm hoping that we can create a nice moody, obviously this isn't a very Australian, a very Australian Christmas. It's more of a wintry Christmas, I think. So I don't know if you were to send Christmas cards off to the Northern Hemisphere at the moment, whether they would get there on time, but better late than never, right? Especially if you're in Canada. I don't know how that's Canada's postal service has gone on strike, so I feel for you guys. Really not a good time to be doing that. Okay, let's bring this up. So that's our Fresh Freesia on Azure. All right. Now, normally, I mean, I've only played with this set a couple of times. You saw the other one that I did with the green a couple of days ago. I don't know. Time is going so fast. Normally, I would go light, medium, dark. But what I'm going to do this time is I've done my lighter color. My next one, I am actually going to, which is stencil B, I am actually going to pull out the Blueberry Bushel. So this is the darker of my 2 blues. Okay, so Let's get this dark one happening. Hi, Jeanette and Donna. Awesome. Okay, so we've got my dark blueberry bushel now, and I'm just going to find where that lines up. And again, just going to try and grab that with my fingers because I'm not taping anything down. And let's go fairly dark with the middle one. Whoops, I slipped. So if you have the time to stick it down, perhaps sticking it down would be a good idea. Okay. Now I'll bring this one up to show you and then I'll continue on. So how cool does that look? Is that giving me winter vibes? I hope so. You could even stop at just, you know, this one. Oh, and now I'm pixelating on screen. All right, let's get this all lined up again. Don't forget my trees are overlapping each other a little bit as well. So Amy puts out a color combination, I'm pretty sure every week. And like I said, just because she's doing it for an alcohol blend, an alcohol marker blend, doesn't mean that you can't just, you know, grab the colors and use it for a whole card. So I've never actually used, this is the first time I'm using one of her blends actually, because I was intrigued by it. So I thought, oh, that looks very interesting. All right, where am I? Where am I? This is going to be interesting. I can't figure out where my, oh, there we go. I think that's it. You know what? Doesn't matter if it's not, as long as it's in the general vicinity. Is it vicinity? Is that the word? As long as it's sort of half lined up, we'll give that a fair bit of going over as well. And then one more. Whoops, I keep going to put the little one on. One more. Where is that one there? There we go. All right, and then my third stencil, I am going to pop the lighter blue on there. And the lighter blue is the same as the color of the card. So let's get rid of you for the moment. I may pull you back in. I'm not sure. We'll get rid of you and we'll bring you in. So let me bring that up. So we've got this going on so far. All right, clean that off, even though I had thought about actually doing it straight onto my card base, and then I thought, that might be a little bit risky. I know this is risky enough. I don't think I need to, you know, really tempt fate. Okay, get you out of the way, bring you in so I don't mess you up. Whoop, guess I need you. Okay, so this is tone on tone next, and I'm using C, letter C. And I never know where this one actually lines up properly. I think because it sort of ends up all over everything else that we've done. Or do I? There's usually one around here that I usually try and line up. There we go. I think, anyway, I have no idea. All right, so tone on tone, and this is the brighter blue azure afternoon. And it didn't show up a whole lot, but it has made that tree a little bit darker than this one here. So I think you can see that, sort of just giving it that little bit of a moody edge. And this one will dry quite light as well. All right, where's that little spot again? Yep, there we go. All right. So I've gone purple, dark blue, light blue, and troublesome spot. There we go, just chuck it on, doesn't really matter. Oops. Well, it sort of does, doesn't it? Otherwise you might end up with blue spotches floating in the middle of nowhere. And last one. I think I just stuck my little finger in the ink pad. Okay, let's bring this up, and so you can have, actually I need that, don't put that away just yet. Probably have enough ink. All right, so this is as far as I got in my head. So there we go. So we've sort of, I'm hoping that that's given that moody nighttime vibe to this. Okay, what do we got going on? Love the purple on the blue. I know, it looks amazing, doesn't it? All right, so what I'm going to do now is sort of just try and do a little bit of a halo sort of work and bring it down and make it even more a little bit moody. So I'll halo the whole lot. I had wondered what I was going to do down the bottom, but I think I will just halo the whole lot, like whether to do a snowscape or something like that. But these take up a fair bit of the room in the card, so I don't think I need to do that. I'm just going to bring this down in between the trees as well. And then I might even come in with whatever's left on that blueberry bushel one and just go around the edges of that a little bit more. Okay, so I haven't brought in my peach pie yet. So I think I'm going to do that as my accent piece. And also I'm going to use the, what's it called? Peaceful Seasons, you know, that really nice big Christmas. But I think I'm going to do Christmases in the air or something like that. But then I have got another idea in my head about what to do around that. So this is blueberry bushel. So we'll just deepen those areas up just around the corners, around the edge. So we've got something really misty going on, hopefully. Hopefully it's a nighttime vibe. All right, I'm going to put them away. I think that is done. So that actually wasn't that hard. Now the next part will be interesting because I'm going to bring in that light peach pie color. All right, get all that blue off. So this is where it gets interesting. All right. Oh, do you know what I should do before I do that? I should get out my Wink of Stella and do a little bit of splatter gently without splattering on my... I don't normally... Oh, that works really well. I don't normally use my lid to splatter. Normally I, do that. Maybe that's what gets my mess everywhere. That is just giving a beautiful... You can't actually see it, but it's giving a really gentle... shimmery flick going on, and I'm probably not making as much of a mess. Oh, I wish you could see that. That's like little sparkles in the night. All right, that'll be enough. Now I have to wipe my thing down again. Okay, so I have got some peach pie and I am looking for, here we go, Christmas. Whoop, we're flying around. Christmas, and I think I might do, because I've just been doing Merry Christmas on everything, but I think I might do Christmas is in the air. just for something different if I can find it. Christmas. What are you? Christmas in your heart. Christmas. Oh, crikey. I should do that tip. Somebody gave a tip. If you leave before you take your stamps off and put them in here, ink them up and stamp them, and then you can have them on here so that you can figure out, because it's a mirror image. Christmas is in the air. There we go. I found it. Then you can see exactly the opposite of what it is going to be. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a great idea, and I've never done it. Let's do both of them at the same time. All right. I'm making a mess. Alrighty. That color mix is very pretty. I'm keen to see what an alcohol blend looks like with that. I might have to have a little bit of a play shortly. All right. Christmas. And Mary. Oh, in the air, sorry. Oops, that's not stuck on there very well either. So if I want to die cut that, it'll be wobbly. Or even if I want to try and cut it straight, it'll be wonky. I'll be like, something's crooked. All right. Hey, Jenny, how are you? All right, let's get this done. Now, so this is, I'll bring that picture back while I'm embossing this, so you can have a look at the graphic that is also there. So, oops, I'm going to press it twice. Okay, so in this one, the street light is giving the yellow, the orange, and you can see that there's a little bit of a glow transferring from that onto some of the trees. So what I thought I might do is this will be my street light, and I will do a little bit of a glow on the trees. That's my thinking anyway. So let's get this happening. All right, let's get this done. Just give this a quick zap. Hold my fingers out of the way. Because don't forget, it looks like I've got a lot of peach pie going on here, but when we trim it down, it die cuts very thin, so there won't be a whole lot of peach pie actually being seen. Oops, go back to my coins. Because that only gives a very, very thin die cut anyway. So now I need to find said die cuts. Here they are. Whoa. Slipping around. I've only used you a couple of times. I don't know why you're unstuck. Right. Let's grab this. Okay, so what are your thoughts about including the peach pie? Would you use a different color if you were making this? Oh, here we go. Line up for me, please. There we are. Please be kind to me. So it's going to be a very simple card because obviously we want those trees to be the focal image. So there's not going to be a whole, there's not going to be layers and all that sort of stuff on there. So there we go. What do we think of that? Actually, do you know what? Our foreshore is lined with pine trees, Norfolk Island pine trees. It sort of reminds me of that actually. Wow. That just really makes it pop. Do you know what? I haven't even thought about a bling or anything like that. So if you guys have suggestions, now's the time to start thinking about what I can use. I don't know whether I've got sequins or what I've got, but that has just really popped. And what I want to do next is probably going to be pretty cool, I hope. Should say I hope. Don't need you. Christmas is in the air. Let's just do basic cuts on these. Yeah, Candace says the peach pie is going to be a nice pop of colour. Donna says she thinks it'll be beautiful and surprising. Christmas is in the air. Okay, so the next bit that I want to do. Now, if you remember when, if you've only just joined me, then you wouldn't have known, but oh, good idea, Donna. There is little embellishments from that. I do actually have that. So when I was saying that this colour palette actually come from a Copic one, and Amy would use this colour as the pull. So pull makes things a little bit brighter for you. But what I thought I might do is try and make a little bit of a glow, because the street lights had that glow going on with the, was putting a glow onto the trees. So what I have done, and what Amy gives us when I did a pencil colouring course with her, what she gives us is a chart that we can make up, and it's the opacity chart. So these are Prismacolor pencils. You can try them with the Stampin' Up watercolor pencils. I don't know what the opacity is though. So we need something that is opaque so that it will show up on the trees. We don't want translucent. There's translucent and then there's opaque. Translucent will allow you to see through it, and then opaque will sit on top. So I am going to be choosing, I think it was this color here, which I thought was pretty similar to the peach pie. So I think that was the number that I had chosen. So let me get these stuck on here, and then I can do that little bit. Actually, I'm going to stick it all together, and then I'm going to color it in and hope I don't stuff it up. There's always a chance, isn't there? There's always a chance that things go wrong. So if you don't have your own set of coloured pencils that are different, have a look through. I don't know off the top of my head what colours are actually in the Stampin' Up watercolor packs, but you might find something. But test it out beforehand and see how it goes. I don't think I'm going to put any frills around this either. I've got some very small pearls as well. Maybe we might be able to, I'm going to use, my other scissors are down in the lounge room. I might be able to colour some of those iridescent pearls too, because they're very small and it might not take up so much, sometimes as they get too big, because we sort of want them to be, in the right sort of perspective as well in relation to the trees, I think anyway. All right. Christmas is making me frazzled. How about that? Is Christmas making you frazzled? Christmas. Very, very different. Oops. Those backings are everywhere. Christmas is in the air. Is that straight? All right. So what I am now going to do with my orange pencil is just give some of these around where the orange label is a little bit of a going over, as if it's almost like it's got like a neon sign and it's glowing around, and of course you're not going to be able to see it, so I'll have to pick it up, but it'll just have that nice little glow on some of the branches. It's like Oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to have to, bear with me. If you're on YouTube, you can zoom in. If you're on a mobile device on YouTube, you can zoom in and see what I'm doing. So, but that's pretty cool. Start off lightly and work your way heavier. If you put too much down, it's pencil. You can actually rub it off. So start off heavy, and as we work away from, you can bring it out lighter with a lighter touch so that we have that little bit of an ombre glow going on. So I'm going to bring that up. I hope you can see that. It's sort of got like a little glow around. It looks pretty good in real life, just saying. And then I wonder if I pulled in, I have I have some acrylic markers. I wonder if this one would fit. Would you fit? Okay, so here's, oh, this is just a really nice peach color. So I'm actually going to do some little, just a few little really, really, really light dots around, just as if they were twinkling from the glow. Very, very lightly. Pen is upright, so you're right on the tip of this marker. Looks like little fairy lights in the trees. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but you know me, I sometimes do different cards. Very cool, very cool. I've got the potential to go and do all the branches, but I'm going to try and refrain from doing that. So I don't know whether it's showing up on screen or not, but that looks pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself, especially with the, I'm going to have to play with that a little bit more, especially with the wink of Stella in the background. It's just like they're twinkling. Oof, okay, all right. I think I'm done with you. I could go overboard. I'm going to try not to go overboard. Oops. Put you away so I don't break the point on that. Okay. I did actually, because I've been feeling like things aren't really going well for me, so I did actually spend a little time. I thought I'll come down in my room and just, work on something for myself. I've got my gift there in the background that I haven't, yeah, they may be a little bit big, especially considering I've gone and done really delicate. Nope, not in there. It's in the other one. So I thought I'd just do a little bit of colouring and see whether it will bring the mojo back. At least I think I've got little baby. Don't tell me I've used them all. How have I used them all? How could I do that? How could I not have? That's a bit rude. Ooh, I've got tiny little ones of these. Maybe I'll use them. I've been looking for an excuse to use these. Right, so these ones are the Druzy embellishments, but these couple here have actually come from one of the kits, and they are tiny. Well, not as tiny as what the other ones would have been, but at least they've got that peachy colour to them, and I can just pop a couple. And then I'm afraid that's going to be it. I'm not going to, oh, you know what I was going to do? I'm such a ninny. I was going to cut the end off and actually do a little bit of layer. That's why I had that extra piece of, peach pie out, because I was going to cut the end off and, anyway, it's okay. I think it's still got a moodiness to it that it is pretty good. Okay, so that's it. That's my card. So it's got little sparkles. I don't know whether you can, the little wing Stella sparkles, little highlights on the tree, a little bit of an orange glow on the tree. But I wanted to show you all the stuff that I played with before I got to that. So hopefully I've done that justice. So I started off, this is my first, I started from here and I worked my way. So I started off using, I actually started off with white. So on stencil A, I actually put white down first, and then I put the fresh freesia on top of the white once it had dried, because I wasn't actually sure whether the fresh freesia would show up. So I did white, and then I did blueberry bushel, and then I did black on top, and it is very, very heavy. And then, because I was going to cut it off there and I was going to do this one, that was my little sample of, oh, I wonder whether it'll work. And then I thought, well, I don't know, what did I do with this? And then this one I did fresh, I didn't stamp first, so this one's got no outline, it's just the stencils. I did freesia first, then I did black, then I did blueberry bushel. And this one was, and because I thought that one looked better with the dark, because the middle stencil, let me try and get my words out. The A and B of the stencils actually have the tree trunk going through the middle, which is why I thought the darker one looked better, because it actually deepens that trunk going down. So if you look at this one, the blue is got on the trunk, whereas this one, the black is on the trunk. And that was only soft. I didn't actually ink up any ink pads or anything. And then I actually did it again, and this still with the black, and I just tried what the orange would look like and whether it would turn up, and it did. So I thought, yep, that's my idea. And then finally I bought this one out, and this is where I tried the combination that we've just done today. So, and just so that I knew it was going to work, and well, hopefully it was going to work. I didn't know what the whole lot would look like, but it has actually, this one I must have gone lighter, because this one is a whole lot darker and a lot moodier, and I don't know what I did differently. So unless I just had the stencils lined up in the wrong spots, which could have very well have been a possibility. So there is today's card. So hope you've enjoyed it. It is different, but you know, it's what you get. It's what you get when you follow me. Different stuff, not a very usual color combination, that's for sure, for Christmas. So let me just swing back around. But still fun. I think that'd still look nice on somebody's mantle, especially when with the little glittery bits in the background. So there we go. Okay, so I am going to be back next Thursday, and then I think because my whole family's stopping, well, except for the one who works at the supermarket, the other two will be, husband and youngest son will be stopping work for a couple of weeks. They get told to take time off at Christmas. Actually, everything shuts down here over Christmas pretty much, so tradie stuff. So that's the usual here now. So I think I might take off 2 weeks with them, and then coming back in January, I think I might try and go live on the Tuesday and the Thursday. So we'll try and come back a little bit more often as well. So with lots of things to show everyone. So thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate your time that you come and spend with me. I hope you have play with this. Oh, do you know what? I should have, oh no, maybe I'll do that. Do you want to, shall I try? I don't know. I was going to pull out the blends and see whether, if you want to hang around for 2 seconds, I'm going to pull out the blends. So I've got, what's that colour? Blueberry bushel. Blueberry bushel. What are you guys? Azure. And where did I use? Fresh freesia. Oh, your Highland heather. What does fresh freesia look like? She does, if you have got Copic, no, your bubble buff. What does fresh freesia look like? All the purples, a lot of the colours all look like they're the same caps. Ah, there we go. So I'm going to use this tip. So you can go dark, dark, and this will be interesting, and we'll do dark. Or you could use that as an underpaint. Oops. So she does give you the proper, like gives you an idea of, you know, what colors you could possibly use if you actually had Copics like that. So that's a little bit of an underpaint. So that little bit there gets darker, but I don't know, I quite like that going into, or you could do, if you wanted to do more, take it down. What's that one? Dark. Now I'm just playing. Those two look good. Then you could do dark. And then you could go one more and go light. Interesting. I think you'd probably be able to get something a little bit interesting anyway. You know, give it time to settle, let it do its thing, and you could probably come up with something a little bit different. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, that's my little play. I was going to do it. But now I will say goodbye. And, oh, don't forget, I forgot to say, if you are not on my newsletter list, I will have the instructions for this card with all the, not that there's many measurements in this card, right? But I will have all the steps, step by step. So if you want to recreate it, this will go out in next week's newsletter. So jump in if you're not in that, alisatilsner.com, and you can go to the subscribe button and subscribe to my newsletter. So anyway, now I'm going to go. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll catch you next week. Okay.